someone find meaningful employment, you change their entire family situation. That's what you do. You change their entire family situation. Let me tell you firsthand. I was born and raised in the city of Syracuse, New York. Raised by a single mother on the public welfare system. My father left home when I was 1 month old, leaving my mother with the responsibility of raising 2 boys on her own with an 8th grade education. In my family, we had a 100% middle school dropout rate. Nobody made it past the middle school. But you know what happened? My mother got a revelation of potential in her life and said, are we going to always be like this? Is this the rest of our lives? This is the pathway for us? We lived in the projects, all the projects of Syracuse, New York. We could never seem to break through. And my mom said, enough is enough. So you know what she did? She did something nobody in my community had done during that generation. She went back to school. And my mother became the first person, and even as an adult, the first person I think even in our community to go back to high school and get a GED. And not only did she receive her GED, she was also named the class valedictorian. Top student. And she gave her class valedictorian speech in a full-length leather suit. In the month of June. 922 degrees out. So as a little boy out there, I was 8 years old or something like that, I was just kind of help her out. I said, Mom, you look hot up there. She said, boy, you always could use your mouth. I said, hey, I was trying to help you right there. But you know what? She didn't stop there. She went to business school, 2 years, received some more education, see? And guess what happened from there? She landed a job with a company by the name of John Deere. John Deere later on. But see, when you have a vision, you have a motive, it changes everything. When she was in school, she had teams just like yours. She had coaches trying to encourage her. Many times she quit, they would call her up and say, get back in here. They would try different people. I mean, anybody been there before? You got to tell people to come on back in here, get back in there, get focused. She said, focus on the 2 boys you have because you're going to change their lives. There was one gentleman in particular by the name of Mr. Head, I think his name was. And he just stayed on him all the time. Honey, stay the course. You're going to see you out to these job interviews. You're going to stay, we're going to work on your resume writing skills. We're going to work on your interview skills. Honey, stay the course. And then that layoff from John Deere actually turned out to be a blessing in disguise because she ended up getting a job with a company by the name of Allegheny Airlines, which today is U.S. Air Incorporated. I like to call it U.S. Scare. I always losing my luggage, but anyway, that's another story. It's a terrible thing when your luggage gets lost. But that we went from abject poverty in Syracuse, New York, to now traveling all over the United States of America for free because of the power of employment. We moved out of the projects, we bought a home. We started seeing things that we'd never seen before. Now, because of my mother's efforts, I want you to understand this work you're doing is generational. Yes. Then I got the revelation, and as a result of her efforts, I became a first-generation college graduate in my family. First person in my family to walk across the stage and grab a bachelor's degree. I had the model in front of me. See, if you're working with adults and they have children, you're creating a new generation of thinking in these households. You got to see it in that perspective. As a team, we need to see it in that perspective. And so now my children think they can take on the world. They really do. Let me show you this one picture right here. My son Daryl Jr. I don't think I have it in here. I'm sorry. I thought I had a picture of Daryl. But Daryl wants to be the next Walt Disney. That's what he tells me. He said, Daddy, when he was a little boy, I wanted to be a football player. You know my dad, I like football. So I said, I wanted to be a football player, son. So when he was first born, I bought one of the little rotating things where he had footballs going around the circle, around the brainwash. Mom wanted teddy bears, I wanted footballs. I said, no, he ain't gonna play with teddy bears, he's gonna be a football player. Took him out the backyard when he was 3 years old, said it's time for basic training. Took a little Nerf football, threw it at him, said, you gotta learn how to catch the ball, son. That's the first thing. He said, yes, Dad. And the ball hit him in the chest. Fell down on the ground. He didn't try to catch it. He had his hands like this, and when the ball came up, he went like that. And I looked at my wife who was up on the deck laughing, snickering. And I said, baby, he just dropped the ball. She said, well, there goes your Heisman Trophy hopes right there. She said, well, let me tell you something. And we started talking about it. I said, but you notice how he likes to draw. I said, you notice how he likes to animate art. So you know what he did was really interesting. He went out in front of our house when he was 7 years old, and he created an art stand. Our neighbors would come by and let him draw pictures of them. He charged $5 a picture. That boy was raking it in. And I said, man, listen, you want to start paying rent to stay up in this house all the morning. And now he's 15, and we took him to Pixar Studios. The guy said this: if he was of age, we could hire him tomorrow. Wow. I do deserve a hand clap for that. That's not bad for a bad. To have your children fulfill purpose, that they can start getting it at an early age. And you know, we're doing that with the people we serve every day, helping them see those gifts, talents, and abilities. So my son said this. He said, Dad, I want to be the next Walt Disney. And he said, Dad, he said, not only that, he said, I want to build a theme park like Mr. Disney as well. And he said, Dad, because I love you so much, he said, when I build that theme park, I'm only going to charge you 50% to get it.